Okay, so in this video, what we're going to do, so this is part 3, we're going to look at how you work out the equation of a line given two ordered pairs. So the last few videos were about how you graph or how you write it when you're given the slope and and an ordered pair. But now we're going to look at when we are given two ordered pairs. So the first thing we need to look at to be able to answer these questions is how we work out the m, the gradient or the slope. So we've already looked at in the past when it is the rise over the run. That helps us to graph an equation. The actual meaning of this is the change in y over the change in x. It lets us know what it's increasing or decreasing by. And then the actual formula that we're going to use today is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is what we use if we don't have a graph and we just have two ordered pairs. So let's go straight and look at a question. Quick recap, you can go back to look at the videos to see what the equation of a line is. And how we graph them. But what we're going to do today is have a look when we have two ordered pairs. So the key information is at the top to help us. So because I have two ordered pairs and I need to write the equation of a line, in the previous video, I either knew the slope, which helped me, and I substitute an ordered pair in, which helped me find the equation of a line, or the first one we were actually giving it. So what I need to do then is, to be able to do what I done in the last video, I need to work out what the slope is. So I'm going to start by substituting into the equation. So first I need to label my ordered pairs. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So that just means ordered pair 1, ordered pair 2. And I'm going to substitute that into the formula at the top. So I'm going to have y2, which is 4, subtract y1, which is 2, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 2. And if I simplify that, we're going to have 2 over 1, which is just 2. So that is my m. So now I can write y equals 2x plus c. So now I have the gradient, I have the slope, I can solve this question like the last video. So just pick any ordered pair. So I'm going to pick A, and I'm going to substitute that into the equation to find the y-intercept. So 2 equals 2 times 2 plus c. So 2 equals 2 times 2 is 4 plus c. And then I'm going to subtract the 4 from both sides. Negative 2 equals c. So now I can write the equation of a line. I'll write it here, which is y equals 2x, and I'm going to subtract 2. Now to check this and to graph it, I can either do the rise over the run, so I can go to my y-intercept, which is negative 2, and my slope is 2, so I can do rise over run. So I can, which is here, I can rise by 2 and then go to the right by 1. Rise by 2, go to the right by 1. Or I can plot my two original coordinates because they make a line. It tells me that in the question. And I could just draw the straight line. Right, next question. Let's have a look when we have some negative ordered pairs. So again, I'm going to do exactly the same as the last question. I need to work out the slope. So we have coordinate 1 and we have coordinate 2. So first thing I need to do then is say negative 2 subtract 0 over negative 4 subtract 4. So negative 2 subtract 0 is negative 2. And then negative 4 subtract 4 is negative 8. I can simplify the fraction. 2 negatives make a positive, and then 2 over 8 becomes 1 over 4. So that is my slope. So y equals 1 over 4x, and I'll write plus b for this video. Right, so now I can pick any ordered pair to substitute into here. One of the probably easiest ones here is the 0. 0 makes life a little bit easier, but I'm going to substitute that in. So 4 and 0. So 0 equals 1 over 4 times 4 plus b. 0 equals a quarter times by 4 is just 1 plus b. And then if I subtract 1 from both sides, I'm going to have negative 1 equals b. And that is my equation. So I'm going to write it up here at the top. Y equals 1 over 4x minus 1. So if I graph this, I'm going to go to my y-intercept, which is negative 1, and then it's already in the form rise over run. So I'm going to rise by 1, and then I'm going to run by 4. Or you could just plot the first two ordered pairs that you have and join them together and draw a straight line. And we can see it is perfect. Right, let's move on then to a real life question. So we have John goes to a theme park and he pays $65 to go on 6 different rides. Then we have Harry also goes to the theme park and he pays $85 for 10 different rides. We need to write the equation that represents the cost of riding the number of rides are. Okay, so if we look here, I'm going to put the number of rides at the bottom and I'm going to put cost up the side. So if I look at the information that we've been given, I can actually write an ordered pair. Okay, so instead of having X and Y, I have R and C. So I can say my R when it's 6, my cost is 65. But when Harry goes on the ride, when he had R is 10, he had his cost was 85. So now I have these two pieces of information, I can do what I've done in previous questions and I can work out my slope. So I could label them, so x1, y1, and x2, y2. So 85 minus 65 over 10 minus 6 becomes 20 over 4, which then it tells me that my gradient is 5. So y equals 5x and then plus c. And then all I need to do is pick one of them to go in because both of them ordered pairs has to work. There's a set price per ride and then there's a set price maybe that they have to get into the theme park. So instead of putting y and x, I need to put the cost equals 5r plus c. You can see how they are exactly the same thing, but obviously the variables are different because it's a real life question. So I'm going to substitute in, let's say, 6 and 65. So the cost is 65 equals 5 times 6 plus c. 65 equals 30 plus c. And if I subtract 30 from both sides, I'm going to have 35 equals c. And I can write my equation of a line. I'm going to do that here. So y equals 5x plus 35. But remember, it's not y and x, it is c and r. So I'm just going to get rid of all this. I'm going to say c equals 5r plus 35. Now if I need to graph this, I can either use my original ordered pairs or I can do rise over run, which would be 35, which would be about here. And then I could rise by 5 and go to the right by 1. But obviously here with the graph, it's not very user-friendly. Some people might be able to do it, some people might struggle, but you could just plot your original points and then you could draw a straight line. So the last thing I want to show you before we end the video is what does this mean? Just like in previous questions, so we know that the Y-intercept in this question is going to tell us how much it is just to enter the theme park. So it's $35 just to go to the theme park because you go on 0 rides, but you still have to pay $35. And then again, there's no negatives in this question because you can't pay a negative price, which would mean they would give you money, and you can't go on negative rides. So that's why there's no negatives in that question.